Hey, mister, you want something different? I know a place full of different...
31 seconds.
This should be played at high volume.
What's up, people? This is your boy Levelhead back with another live and leveled gamers podcast, episode 103. We have the full roster. Jedi Knight will be jumping on in a little bit, so the whole team, the whole crew is here. Keith Norris, K-Bomb 20, D2K, yours truly, Levelhead, and Jedi in a few seconds, but I want them to be able to talk for themselves going on. Go ahead, D2K.
I'd just like to take this opportunity to say blah, 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 yakety schmackety.
Keith Norris.
Man, what's up, everybody? Go Warriors. I mean, Lakers. I mean, Warriors.
Why you doing that, man? Anyway, we shall not go there for right now. K-Bomb 20.
Yo, what's up, man? K-Bomb 20, ready to get this party cracking. So let's do this.
Okay. Question. Who here has seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
I have.
I've seen it.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to go see it. I ain't seen it yet. I want to see it. I might have to catch it.
So now you the slacker. So we need to have a timer put on you about how long you ain't seen the movie. See, I want to call me out.
But you took a good minute. We ain't say we wanted to talk about Galaxy. I
want to talk about it. I done seen it. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Oh, we can't. How about that?
But now, what about Wonder Woman comes out when? Is it out yet?
Yeah, it's out.
Y'all, who seen that?
I have not.
See, I'm torn on whether I should just wait to Guardian of the Galaxy come out on DVD and just go see Wonder Woman. That's what I think I'm gonna do. So,
well, you go ahead and make that decision then.
I got to be the executive. Every now and again. Anyway, you ain't here to talk about that. So, what's up, man? What's good? We get into this game in here in a second. What's been going on, man? D2K back in the podcast. What's up, man? D2?
Muted.
Is he muted?
Sorry about that, but the cord fell out of the mic.
Oh, okay. What's been good, man? We ain't heard your voice in a minute.
Not too much, but I'm hanging in there.
Okay. Man, it's been a lot. There's a lot to talk about, but we ain't gonna get there yet.
Ooh, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we was supposed to be on Thursday, but I had to. That was my birthday. The boy turned a year older.
Happy belated birthday, by the way.
Thank you. I thought you were going to say your age. No, I ain't. Well, I mean, hey, I ain't ashamed of it. I'm 18. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna run out of numbers trying to say his age. You're gonna run out of numbers, boy.
Please, Kaylee, you ain't that far behind me. You ain't that far behind me. Anyway.
Hey, I'm far.
Yeah, you about about 4 years, 4 5?
4 5.
Yeah,
You're about
5 years.
Age to my brother. You are.
Yeah.
About 4 5.
That's sad. Sad. Yeah, man, I turned a good age Thursday. And I ain't ashamed to say it, 38 years old.
For sure.
No shame in my game. But I feel good, though. That's all that matters. So anyway, I went up, man. I about cut my finger off Monday. I meant to tell y'all that. Dang near sliced my finger in half, man. Had to go to the hospital, but
bro.
Thankfully, I ain't had to get no stitches. Yeah, my thumb, man. Now my dog coming in. Yeah, about cutting some potatoes, man, making some mojos. Y'all know that chicken and mojo? Y'all ever heard of that?
Nah, bro.
I'm sorry.
Nah, y'all ain't never heard of Mojo's. Anyway,
Nah, bro.
yeah, I was cutting my potatoes, man, and did instructions of this new cut. Had to then use the right tools, and dang near cut my finger into. So,
Yeah, don't do
but
that.
now, yeah, man. So I spent Memorial Day in the hospital, in an emergency room. Ended it in an emergency room.
Did you have your switch with you?
But huh?
How's he gonna play it with
Yeah,
one
did you have-
thumb?
I can't even. I had one thumb, bro. Like,
Okay.
dude, I was handicapped, man. I got to experience what not being able to play games really would be like, and it was not good. I was like, I'm glad. Thank the Lord I got all my limbs, man, because I was like, if I can't be a gamer, what can I do in life? Anyway, I mean, I can think of many other things, but still. But let's get into it, man. It's been a minute because we got a lot to talk about. I don't want to hesitate too much longer. What you been gaming on? Starting with Keith Norris. What you been gaming on, man?
Okay, so okay, I guess I can start off with a little story. I went and hooked up my Wii U in our guest room because I had it just sitting on the floor, and I was like, let me go hook up my Wii U, man. I've been watching people play Splatoon, so my whole purpose was to hook up my Wii U so I could play Splatoon. And I'll tell you right now, I hadn't played Splatoon yet. What I have been playing is Darksiders 2. And the only reason I started playing it because I was remembering what you was talking about when we were talking about Darksiders 3. Now, I'm not a graphics whore, but I went ahead and bought Darksiders 2 and 1 and 2 on PC because they had it on sale for Steam for $9 for both. So
Okay, that's not a bad deal.
I'm probably done with the Wii U version because the PC version just looks so. I've been playing that, and I've been playing Titanfall 2. And I'm not a killer, but man, when you shoot them dudes, man, it's like the most satisfying shot. Like I can't even explain it, but it just feels really nice to shoot somebody on the game.
Man, I thought you about to start quoting Tupac.
I started to. I
I ain't
started
no
to.
killer, but don't push me.
That's about it though.
Okay. D2K, what you been gaming on, man?
The other day I decided to download the Unreal Tournament pre-alpha.
Okay.
And my computer is pretty old. I mean, it's I got it in 2011. Back then it was a beast machine. It still holds up pretty good. It holds up good enough to be able to run it at 1080p 60 frames per second at high settings, not ultra settings, with no frame rate drops at all. But it's I'm not sure when this game is ever going to come out, but it really feels nice. I mean, it really reminds you of the classic Unreal Tournament. The only thing I did like about it is that it does, from what I could tell, it doesn't have a joystick feature. You have to play with a mouse and keyboard, and I haven't done that in over 15 years. So trying to learn how to play with that again was an adventure in and of itself. And I got carpal tunnel in both my hands, so that didn't go over too well. So I was like, I'll have to wait till this comes on the console somewhere. But the game itself, it looked pretty hot, and that's definitely gonna be something I'm looking forward to whenever it do come out.
Okay. That's what's up. So that leaves that was D2K. So K-Bomb 20, what you been gaming on?
Well, I've been gaming on a little bit of everything. I've kind of trying to get back into a couple more games, trying something different. For the longest, I've been playing the same games, which is NBA 2K. Been playing. Actually, I haven't played that this week, to be honest. And then Overwatch, a lot of the games I've been playing. But I've been trying to, play a little bit more. So I went ahead and you guys know, a lot of people in the chat know that I'm very competitive, and I like playing multiplayer games. So I like playing with friends and playing competitive, and I like talking to people on the mic when I play with people. But anyway, that's the jab. And so I've been playing. I went and bought FIFA. Me and my buddies, my NBA 2K buddies, we started playing the FIFA. So I just bought FIFA for $15 on the PlayStation Store this past weekend. this past week, and then I bought NHL 17. That was like $10 on the PlayStation Store. And again, I do like playing digital games, buying digital games better than physical games. And I know it's not that far of a walk for me to go to my system, unplug it, and put a CD in there, or DVD in there, or whatever it's called now, a game disc in there. But just being able to just hit the start menu and just start a game up is just so satisfying. So I've been playing that. I played a little bit more of the Call of Duty, the Modern Warfare, the old school one, and I don't like it. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know. I think I may have wasted my money on that.
You
one.
went low on us.
My fault. You still hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'm saying I may have wasted my money on that Call of Duty because I just don't. I don't like the old school. Just I don't know. I don't know if it don't feel the same, or maybe I'm different, or maybe we've been playing different Call of Duties. It just plays so much different than the old ones. But yeah, I'm just not a big fan. I know the spawn system is terrible in this game because you can spawn, and there you will literally spawn right in front of someone who's looking dead at you while you're spawning, and you will respawn right there, and they just shoot you and kill you. Or you would spawn somewhere and you would turn around, and it's somebody else that's spawning right next to you. And now you guys are looking at each other like, oh, okay, well, like you guys remember Pulp Fiction when Bruce Willis was looking at John Travolta? You know that scene? I'm telling my age. Y'all know that? Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's more like that. So I've been playing on. So that's NHL. I've been playing on. FIFA. I've been playing on. Call of Duty. I've been playing on. Overwatch still. And I thought it was something else I've been playing. The show, baseball game. I just went and got that from GameFly. And so that, and then I'm waiting for Tekken 7 to come out. Sorry, it's out. I'm waiting for my GameFly to come in. So sometime this week. So that's what I'm gaming on.
Dude, I might go get Tekken 7 like today. Anyway, I might get it. I might have to go get that.
Man, you're going to have to get it because you have to get this work. You can tell everybody about it.
Akuma, man. What this work? Now, wait a minute. This ain't college days, man.
We can put it on YouTube, player. We can put it on YouTube. We can live stream.
Let me play you.
See this work.
Let me play you before we put it on YouTube because I made that mistake with Madden. Anyway, so I got to see how much of a thrashing I'm going to get before I decide to put that on my channel. There's only so much embarrassment a brother can take.
You know, Tekken is Tekken, man. You just go ahead up. Don't
see. Here's the thing, though. D2K. He don't want to get Street Fighters and stuff like that because he don't want that ownage. But he won't really play everything he good at. Huh?
I don't play Street Fighters. You know.
Right. That. See, but I do. But you won't go get it, so I can put it up on my channel. Me owning K-Bun 20. You won't do it.
Whatever.
So that's all. I go get Tekken. I get Tekken to see. We'll make it happen. Jedi Knight in the house. What you been gaming on, man?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? My bad, I'm late. I was sitting there watching.
You good? We all late.
The Dark Knight Rises, man. I gotta admit, I didn't like the movie at all. That was a poor follow-up. But real quick,
Agreed.
I have not gamed on anything this week. Oh, what's going on, D2K? I didn't even realize you was in here.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Chilling, man. It's been a long time no hear, brother. How you been?
I've been. That's all I can say. I've been.
But yeah, I'm glad you added, a ditto to that. I didn't really like Dark Knight Rises at all. I know I'm kind of late on watching that, but I really thought that movie
kind of late.
Yeah, it is.
Now that's the third one, right?
Yeah. That's with Sean Connery as Bane and
Come on, man! I like the Bane voice.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
I mean,
the movie was 6 hours long, and
yeah, it was. It was damn near 3 hours long, and I sat through that just now. And it's like,
yeah, I got mixed emotions on that one.
You only adopted the dark side.
Good parts, and you're right, but it's.
I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light of day until I was a man, and even then, it was only blinding. What you talking about, man? That whole scene was cold, man. Whatever. Man.
It's funny. It's funny you bring that up, Jedi, because me and my homeboy were just talking about that. Matter of fact, maybe yesterday, maybe.
yeah,
We was talking about I think it was Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. We was like, man, those are, to me, Dark Knight was great, but I don't think I can watch it again. It's like a really daunting movie, and then Dark Knight Rises, like you said, it was long. I was like, man, I was a different person back then because I really enjoyed it back then, but I can't do it today. Something about them.
Yeah,
But I can
that's
watch
how I
Batman
am. I
Begins
can't
forever.
watch.
Both of those movies could have been split up into two separate movies. They really
Yeah.
could have.
Well, I don't like Batman Begins that much.
Oh, I love that
So,
one.
but
Matter of
that's
fact, all three of those movies could be split up into two separate movies with two different villains. I mean, if you think about it, all three movies had two villains in them.
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. That's
yeah, you're
true.
right. Actually,
I just watched Batman Begins yesterday. I was sitting at home. I just rewatched it. And it was
Only
still a
movies
good
I could do
movie.
like that's that long is the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, not Hobbit.
No.
I can watch the Lord of the Rings.
You can keep that.
No, man.
Put that in your pocket.
Yeah, but,
I've never seen the original Lord of the Rings.
oh, you missing out, man.
I've only seen the Hobbit movies, the first one and the third one. Still haven't seen the second one.
No, go watch the original. The original Lord of the Rings trilogy makes Hobbit look like child's play. And don't listen to K-Bomb 20 because he don't like fantasy. Everything he watch got to be sci-fi
Hey,
stuff like that.
D2K,
You know.
if you want a really, really good,
Wait a minute, man. This Jedi Knight time. Jedi Knight time.
Good
Go ahead, Jedi.
If you want
nah, I'm good. This was I was enjoying this for myself.
You're gonna have the best sleep of your life, boy.
Man, anyway. Man, go ahead, Jedi. We apologize. Hey, but
All right, no problem, no
no time. He did this now.
Yeah, this week, man, I've been kind of, low on games. I think I played maybe about 10 minutes of Uncharted 2. Maybe like one section. I went from section 9 to section 10, but outside of that, I didn't really pick up anything this week.
Okay. That's life. That's called life.
Yeah, that's true.
Outside, basically, I cut my hand after the last. I played when I was up in K-Bub's neck of the woods. Didn't get a chance to get up with him, but got my butt thrashed in Mortal Kombat X with some of my nephews at my mother-in-law's house, or mother and father-in-law house. I played a little bit of Street Fighters on the Switch, but outside of that, I just been nursing this wound, so I can't really until tomorrow when I can take these band-aids off. I really can't do nothing with no gaming. So that's been about it, man. Let me do this, man.
I got a quick question because you brought it up. I got a quick question before you get started. Because you just brought it up.
No, because I'm going where you about to go. I'm already about to go there. So hush up.
No, I ain't going there. See,
you finna talk about the basketball games. I know you finna go.
I wasn't. I wasn't, player.
Oh, okay.
You talked about Mortal Kombat, and I was going to ask if anybody played the new Injustice.
I want to, but I haven't played it. I want to.
Yeah, I haven't played it either. Actually, I'm subscribed to somebody who's doing a walkthrough of it, and it looks pretty crazy. I really like what they've done with the story mode. I've actually liked the first Injustice story mode too. I think I'm actually going to pick up Injustice just to support it. I like what they're doing with it. I'm not really heavy into fighting games. That's why. But story-wise, it's pretty intriguing from what I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was watching, actually. I watched the ending of it. Someone just had an ending of it. And it was actually looked like it could have been a movie, man. And some of those animations and facial animations are actually really, really good.
The visuals of this game are absolutely incredible.
They
Some
are
of the best visuals I've seen in a game today.
I agree with you, bro.
I mean, it's really hard to differentiate when it goes from a cutscene to actual gameplay. I mean, it's virtually a flawless transition.
Yeah, I agree with that. Watching the walkthroughs, you get that feeling as well.
And I'm kind of torn between that or Tekken because I just watched the end of Tekken with Hachi and is it Kazuraya?
Kazuya?
Kazuya?
I said Kazuraya, didn't I? Yeah, Kazuya. Anyway, oh hush, man. I can't say no Japanese names and all that. Anyway, Kazuya, I watched the end fight where, man, Hachi, man, I know he ain't got the devil gene, but Jesus, that brother was refusing. Anyway, I don't want to spoil nothing if you haven't seen it. So it was dope. So I'm like, I might have to go watch the end of this Injustice 2 because I haven't Hachi, man, was something else. That was pretty dope. And I'm torn. I'm not really torn, but Jedi, you bring up. I mean, now K-Bone, you bring up interesting. I forgot all about Injustice too, but I didn't play. So plays like Mortal Kombat, right? Basically, right?
Yeah. They're using the same pretty much engine. It's the same nether rounds, whatever.
Nether round,
Yeah.
Same engine as Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I might have to play that one before I buy. I'm definitely gonna get that Tekken though. But let me bring this up. I mean, and then we can move on. Keith Blizzard touched. I mean, not Keith Blizzard, but Keith Norris touched on it, trying to hurt my feelings early off in the podcast. Threw me off my game a little bit. But in about what time? It's about 3 hours or 2.5 hours. The game will be on. We'll be ending, and I'm predicting 1-1 going back to Cleveland.
There we go.
I don't want to hear no more nonsense from you, Norris. I'm pretty sure I'm to say too. I don't want to hear nothing. K-Bum, I've been until this time. I'm loving the fairness because normally he's spewing left opposite of LeBron James.
What are you talking, man? If you don't get your,
you know, man. You know, come on, man. Let's be honest, man.
I am being
Come on, man.
Hold up. Y'all need to understand. I had to ban this man from tagging me in his LeBron rants on Facebook. I told this dude, hey man, don't put me in another post.
Wow.
I got done talking to dude about this LeBron stuff. I said, man, it's over. You trying to break up our friendship? This crap. Stop it.
This is how bad it is, D2K, Jedi Keith. My uncle put a video up. He said, I'm not even going to do a comment. I'm not going to type nothing. I'm going to record a 10-minute video and uploading it on Facebook. So, you know, I had to respond with my own 8-minute video. So, anyway, that's how we do it over here when it comes time to this time of the year. I mean, I ain't going to hold y'all up. But Keith, just know it's 1-1 going back, Mr. Warrior fan.
I'm not a Warrior.
1-1 going back.
Warrior fan. I just don't like LeBron.
What? What'd you say?
I just don't like LeBron.
Oh, this hurt my feelings.
I'm
I do I run into these LeBron haters.
Go get
All
your
my
brooms.
friends are LeBron haters.
Get the brooms out. Gonna be a tweet.
I can't see that happening.
Nah,
They're not gonna sweep. Nah, they ain't gonna sweep. But anyway, let's get into it. They ain't come to hear about those type of games. They want to talk about those games. So anyway, what's going on, man? First of all, let's get this whole Hori. Is that how you say it? Hori?
Hori.
Mm-hmm.
Hori. Let's go there. So, cause we missed this last week, and K-Bum talking about me with LeBron on Facebook. This dude was going ham on Twitter about this voice chat workaround or whatever it is. So Hori has a licensed headset for Splatoon 2 that will allow you to do voice chat, but it has a unique. It ain't new, but it's kind of old technology. But anyway, where you have to hook both Switch and your phone up in order to have both voice chat and in-game volume of game music and action of what the game is actually doing. So this lit up the Twitter sphere, this lit up Facebook, this lit up YouTube. The whole game industry paused to talk about this new yet old dated approach to voice chat. So we got the whole crew here. Let's just go into it from the gate. First, let's get verdicts. I'm gonna ask each one of you. I just want your verdict, what you think about it. Then we'll dissect what this means and give our different takes on it. But D2K, what did you think about it? Just from yay or nay, however you want to put that.
Stupid, but there's not much they can do because there's not much they can do because this is what they wanted to do. They chose this route to go, so they're going to have to just take their medicine and deal with it.
Okay, stupid. All right, one word, Jedi. What would you describe it? D2K says stupid.
Failure. It's utter failure. I mean, I'm not sure if you want me to elaborate. I know you just said
You can elaborate on your word. You can elaborate on
it's
your word a
utter
little bit.
failure because for the past 2 decades that we've had voice chat on any sort of level, on any platform from PC to consoles, this has to be the worst I have ever seen for voice chat implementation. We've had PlayStation 2, we've had Xbox, we had PC, we got all of, last generation, this generation. This is the worst that I've ever seen. There is no reason to have a console that is built like a tablet, yet you don't have any type of tablet functionality. You have to have an app to run on your phone, but you have a console that's like a tablet and you can't run apps on this tablet console. You have to utilize your phone to use voice chat. Do you know I had a Nintendo Wii? I used to take my Nintendo Wii to my old job when I worked at Lord and Taylor in Manhattan, right? And during lunches, we used to all go down to the locker room. We used to use our cell phone as a hotspot to get internet access on the Wii, and we could voice chat on the Wii without having to connect anything to our cell phones outside of just using that as a hotspot. There is no reason for this to even happen. It is a failure. And as I said on Twitter, if this is legit, I am not buying a Switch. I'm not supporting that whatsoever.
Okay.
Well, it's legit, so you ain't buying the Switch.
I'm not buying it.
All right. So, K-Ball 20, one word, and then explain why you use that word.
Foolish is what I'm going with. This is foolish. And the reason why I'm explaining why it's foolish is because to me, it's not even fully what they're doing. What's foolish is the defense people are giving for what they're doing. Defense that people have told me, they're saying that there are much better ways than simple in-game chat to talk to people. And that whole, you're telling me that it's easier to go and get a phone, go through a phone, hook that up, and than to just have it natively in the actual system. So that's easier? Come on, man. This is foolish, man. I don't know. It just seemed like the whole thing's an afterthought from Nintendo about game chat. Maybe they did know they were going to do this, but I don't know. I think even the defense of it and the use of it is all foolish to me. I just don't understand, because we had voice chat on the PS2. I don't understand why we have to convolute it, make it so difficult. Not even difficult, make it so complex with adding the phone and adding everything else to it, because everyone, if you're playing on the system, everyone has a console, but everyone doesn't have a phone. If you have the Switch, you have the console, but everyone who has the console doesn't mean they have a phone. And so there still is an alienation of a part of your consumers that may not have a phone. If you have 5-year-old kids playing the game, well, now they get mom's phone, or even they want to talk to their other 6-7-year-old kids, and have good friendly conversation without being a stalker. They have to go through these other ways of doing it. I don't know. I think it's foolish.
Okay. Keith Norris, one word, then description of why you say that word.
All right. It is horrible.
That's 3 words. No.
Yeah, that's 3 words. Yeah, I heard that.
Nah, it's horrible because you look at the Wii U, right? You had games like Call of Duty, and there was other games that had voice chat, and just other stuff from the Wii U that didn't move over, or it's basically a step back. And like K-Bone was saying, man, why are people defending this? This is horrible. That's all I can say.
Okay, so stupid, failure, foolish, horrible. I'm gonna go with unnecessary. When I saw it, I just saw an unnecessary setup that wasn't necessary to me. It shouldn't be having to do all this to get voice chat. So that's what I say. Unnecessary. Nintendo needs to explain this, because If how you say it, Ori or Hori? Do you put the H in or you leave the H out?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, well, people in the comment section talking about some horror like WHORE. Like, am I saying it wrong or something? But anyway, so let's talk about this. So Ori, however you say it, has this contraption, this setup to where you got this squid designed. It is the same.
Maybe that was just like a running joke. Maybe they're just they're just ribbing us and making the thing look like a squid because it's Splatoon squids.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
So it has, and I'm thinking it's for. Is this coming to America? Keith, would you look that up? Because I don't even know if this is even coming to America. I think this is Japan only. I'm not for sure. But so they have that takes in both the audio from your Switch and your voice chat audio, blends it together, allows you to mix it into your headset. Allows you to talk back to through this whole contraption. Now, first of all, let's be. I got. It's not necessarily what Nintendo is doing, but at the same time, because we don't have enough clarity on what Nintendo's approach to voice chat is going to be, and this being a licensed product by Nintendo by Ori, and licensed by Nintendo for Ori, it makes a person question, like, is this how it's going to be? I'm breaking up. Okay. But so
What? Go ahead. I'll let you go.
I'm setting it up. So first, let's say this. Let's put this out here. This disclaimer: we're not saying that this is the actual way it's going to be. We are speculating that if this is the way, we're giving our feelings based on if this is what Nintendo is going to do with voice chat. That's where we're talking from. Not that this is, because we don't fully know that yet. So I want to put that out there so people like, man, they don't know if they're talking about Nintendo's not going. We don't know if Nintendo going to do it like this. There's other reasons why I say that, but we don't know because Nintendo hasn't said it. And two, there are interviews out that suggest that this might not be the only way to get voice chat through the Switch. So with that being said, I'm gonna let K-Bone start this off, and then I'm gonna jump to Jedi Knight. Jedi Knight. Then Keith and D2. Because K-Bum, you started this fire with us on Twitter and Google Hangout. So what was your thoughts when you first saw it, man? Go ahead.
Let me jump in real quick.
Go ahead.
With Splatoon this summer, so I guess it's going to be worldwide.
So it's worldwide? Okay. Cool. Thanks, man. So it is worldwide.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So first of all, let's say this. The reason why there is cloudiness around this being the solution for Nintendo or just for Splatoon is Nintendo's fault.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
If you don't want, if this is untrue and you don't want this to be the narrative that people are going to say, then you come out and say, well, this is right now. This is what we're working with Hori. This may or may not, or this is not going to be the solution that we're going to have down the line when we get our online up and running. But please enjoy this for Splatoon coming this summer. That's it. But when you allow this rhetoric to be told by other people and allow it to be circled through the internet, you know how the internet works, then you are allowing this to be the story that people are going to tell.
They've done this before.
Before I get into it. What was that?
They've done this before.
Yeah.
Several times before.
Yep. All right. So what I thought when I saw it, my first thought when I saw it was like, this can't be. This is a joke. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I'm like, this is a joke. That's not what they're really going to do, because that doesn't make sense. And then I think the first person I saw was from our old buddy, good Lord, I can't, Full Game.
John Shaw?
Yeah, John Shaw. Thank good Lord. Sorry about that, John. Yeah, I saw him on his Twitter, and I sent him a message saying this can't be real. that's fake, right? That's a joke. Like, no, it was real. And I saw people talking about it, and I saw people defending it, and I was like, well, this is crazy. And so I was kind of shocked that Nintendo, after doing so well and having so many question marks about their online, would allow this to be what people are going to talk about doing voice chat on their system. I'm still kind of shocked over it, because it makes it, and I'm gonna end it like this. We have some people on the podcast, we take up too much time, but it makes me feel, my true feeling about this is that it makes me feel like Nintendo is treating online and online voice chat as an afterthought. And if that's the case, they are losing touch of the way that gamers game now, and that social media platforms and online gaming should never be thought of as an afterthought for the way systems are done right now. That's why Xbox and Nintendo put all that share stuff and allow you to stream directly to YouTube and Twitch, because they knew what gaming was going to be. Sorry, they have a feeling how gaming was going to be, and it was going to be online, interactive driven. And Nintendo making this an afterthought and allowing this to be the convoluted system it is now makes me seriously question how well they're going to bid out even their online system, when this should be something that we should be doing by now. That's it. I'm done.
Okay, Jedi Knight.
All right. Before I get into my explanation, I want to talk about a lot of the damage control, or at least one in particular. I read a tweet today from Player Essence, and it's like,
Oh boy.
this is just the stuff that I don't understand, man. He says, vocal nerds crying about voice chat will not kill Switch's momentum. Most don't care and buy Switch to play games. Like, how can you not differentiate between features in a game and the actual game that you play, or features in the game and the Switch's console momentum in terms of sales? That has nothing to do with each other. If the Switch is selling, then it's selling. But if you're buying games and you're having these stripped down features, and now you're going to actually have to pay for it, like, I can understand when these online things were free from Nintendo. So there was a bit of an excuse without it being called damage control, when Nintendo was the only console makers that were providing free online. But you're going to pay for online to then have to use your phone all the time. And then when you finally do hook it up, you can't even speak to people who are not on your friends list. You can't damage control this at all. It is a failure. And every time Nintendo, for the past 3 generations, come out with something, they have potential and they squander it with their stupidity. And I am personally tired of it. You know, when they announced the Switch, at first I was kind of up in the air. I remember, like, the podcast right afterwards when we was asking about our thoughts about, you know, when it was revealed, and I wasn't too sure. But then I kind of seen a lot of the possible benefits. Their relationship with NVIDIA, for example, they didn't take advantage of anything outside of just the chip, and the chip ain't even custom. They didn't take advantage of the other software possibilities that NVIDIA could have implemented in terms of online, because they're not thinking about online. You know, you can't. How do you have a tablet and you can't even use it as a tablet? It is asinine what they're doing right now, you know, and people need to stop buying stuff like this and then complaining about it, or buying it and because they purchased it they feel the need to damage control it. I'm not buying a Switch because every time me as a consumer decide that I want something and they completely ignore me, you know, then it means that I need to battle back with my dollars. How many generations must Nintendo fans say, hey Nintendo, we don't want friend codes, we would like this to be something streamlined? How many times must people ask Nintendo, hey, we would like a full-fledged online service? This has nothing to do about buying a console and buying the games. This is about the features in the games. Like, Nintendo is purposely behind the ball. Purposely. It's terrible. And on top of the fact that anytime you have a Nintendo system, it's like you have to have a secondary system that is a main system, because on top of the fact that you're supporting Nintendo is not even providing you a console that can provide you with enough games outside of first party. What are they doing? It's the worst. And K-Ball brought it up, and I'm sorry for taking long, but man, when I seen that contraption, imagine if you have an iPhone, right, that doesn't have the regular audio input. You have to connect your phone to your headset to your Switch, but then you have to have a dongle to your phone, which you have to set up to the headset to then set up to the Switch. It's crazy what they're doing. It is crazy. I'm done.
Okay, Keith Norris.
We don't have the applause sound effects anymore, so I have to physically do it.
I have them, but my Pro Tools ain't up, so I can't do it. But go ahead, Keith Norris.
Oh man, Jedi, I feel everything that you're saying. Like, I haven't touched my Switch in a while, and not because I can't do voice chat or anything like that. I just haven't touched it because I feel like Nintendo isn't really doing much like they should be. But the whole voice chat thing, it's not even a feature that I'm going to really take full advantage of, but the fact that it's not there, the fact that it wasn't thought of, the fact that it was an afterthought, it's alarming. You know what I mean? And Nintendo, it's coming to the point where it is really getting irritating that, like you said, you have to have all these extra consoles or extra things and things like that. Like, I built my PC knowing full and well whatever the next Nintendo device was going to be, that I was going to need my PC, because I knew Nintendo wasn't going to make the moves or do the right things to get the right games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't really have much more to say other than that, but just Nintendo, man, I don't know what they're out there doing. I mean, yeah, some of us may be having knee-jerk reactions to some of this stuff, but like K-Bone said earlier, it's Nintendo's fault for not talking, for not saying what they're doing. Like, just go ahead and tell us your plans so we can be fully aware, instead of, oh man, I can't believe y'all doing it this way. I don't want it now. You know, I was close, but I don't want it now. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, don't tell us your plan, but at least tell us what it's not. If it's not gonna be that, at least say that. You don't gotta tell us what it is.
K-Ball is funny.
Man, I'm just saying, man. I'm done. I'm paying that.
Go ahead. Are you done, D2? I mean, Keith?
Yeah. I don't want. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I mean, go ahead, D2K. You got the floor.
Well, the other day when this news broke out, I was watching a video from Rich from Review Tech USA, and he had a very interesting take on this whole situation, a very entertaining video about it. And I was looking down in the comments section, and I don't know who the YouTuber was, but he made a very poignant point about the whole situation regarding the Switch. And he said that one of the problems with Nintendo fans is that they have such a strong feeling of nostalgia attached to Nintendo that whenever Nintendo actually does something right, that they think it's a masterpiece, which is what we're seeing with the Switch. And it's more or less, when you look at the fact that if you see a hill off in the distance and you get close up to it, it may not be that big. But if you stand in a hole next to a hill, that hill looks huge. And we're looking at the Switch from the same perspective. We're looking at the Switch from the perspective of the failure of the Wii U and seeing how successful the Switch is comparison to the Wii U. And I think that fuels a lot of the damage control that's going into all these problems that the Switch is having right now. Because of the success of the Switch, you see a lot of Nintendo fans who aren't used to this or haven't been used to this for a while, because it hasn't been since the Wii, since we've seen Nintendo on top. So anytime there's anything that's tangible out there to show that, hey, Nintendo is screwing up here, you're going to see people defending it no matter what. And today I say this: for those who believe no explanation is necessary. For those who don't believe, no explanation will do. So any YouTuber that's coming out and making excuses for the problems that Nintendo is having, or throwing ad hominems around saying that you're dumb because you criticize Nintendo, or you're a nerd, or you're this or you're that, don't pay attention. Don't even pay attention to stuff like that. It's insecurity talking when people say stuff like that, because they know that there's a problem. They're intelligent enough. They're intelligent enough to know that this is a problem, and this should not be happening. And because they idolize Nintendo so much, they'll come out to defend Nintendo to the death if they must. And it's gotten to the point where you even see people getting death threats on their channel because people are pointing out stupid things Nintendo is doing. And I know that other fan bases do the same thing. I know Sony fans do it and Microsoft fans do it. But for the sake of this conversation, I'm talking about Nintendo fans. That type of stuff is just, it just makes me want to vomit. You know, it's just like, oh, I can't believe people are that disconnected from reality. But more to the point, you know, I'm not going to jump on Nintendo that hard because E3 is next week, and Nintendo could very well come out and announce that they have some kind of a deal with someone to where the Switch will be able to have a better online service, and they'll have a better setup to where you can do voice chat. So that still is out there. That still could happen. I'm not going to hold my breath for something like that happening, but it's possible. And you have to put that out there to be fair. You have to say, well, you know, they still have a chance to do it. Now, if we leave E3 and we're still in the same situation that we are today, then we can jump all over. But as of right now, we can do like, you know, K-Bomb said, is that, you know, you don't have to tell us what you're doing if you want to save that information for E3, but at least tell us, dispel any rumors or myths that are out there about what it is that you're doing, so that people don't jump to the wrong conclusions and assume things. That's pretty much all I have to say about it.
Yeah, Nintendo's the company that'll say, hey, we don't respond to rumors. So not responding to rumors, you're allowing the rumors to fester. And I think what K-Bomb 20 said is absolutely on point. You don't have to tell your secrets if you want to hold that for a particular event, but you can certainly speak about what you don't want to do, you know? And man, and back to what Keith said, you know, about him not touching his Switch for a while. Like, this is a company that released a console and had no games for that console. And I'm talking about games built from the ground up for this console. It was a Zelda machine, and it was a port. Everything has been ports, you know? And whether Zelda is phenomenal or not is besides the point. When it gets, when it's beginning to look like you can just take advantage of your consumer base. And that's what it's coming down to, you know? How do you release a console and you are lacking just standard features? I've never seen a console release. Maybe there has been one and I just may have forgot or may have not have known. But to where your whole online situation is just so up in the air the way it is with Nintendo right now, you know, to where you have to have these I don't really know what to call that situation with the voice chat, and still having to monitor how people are interacting with each other online, you know. They're so focused on being people's parents or moderators than they are just providing the service and thinking that people can be adult enough, for the adults that are out there playing on Nintendo products, that they can handle themselves. Sony and Microsoft don't have these problems. How do you sit there and say that you want to gain the hardcore consumer back, and you can't even provide standard services, let alone anything that can be considered a hardcore service? This is why those individuals, those type of gamers, are not taking Nintendo seriously, and it's rightfully so. It's the Switch has been out since March. What game that is like quote unquote a Nintendo Switch game is even out right now?
I want to say something to that, because I looked at it the other day and I was thinking about the ports, and I wouldn't really say Zelda is a port, but it is. But Snipper Clips, 1-2 Switch, and the upcoming ARMS. These are the only games that are actually exclusive to the Switch. Every other game, including Street Fighter, those games can be experienced outside of the Switch, which is crazy. When I sat back and looked at it, I was like, almost all of these games can be played somewhere else. And that's not a knock at Nintendo, because the Switch experience is the on-the-go gaming, but it's just weird now. I don't know. It's just weird when I looked at it. I was like, that's crazy. But anyways.
In the case of Street
Okay.
Fighter, it's a game that we played 5-6 years ago. So,
and you're paying like double or triple the money for, in comparison to what you had to pay for the 360 version, right?
Yeah.
I think it's
Sorry.
So let
something like that. And
No,
on the
no,
360,
no,
it was like $15 or $10.
it was 19, I
Yeah.
think. 19, I think.
Yeah, so you're paying double the price.
But yeah, you are. So well, okay. So let me unpack this. Let me go back to
Level's hurt.
Ori
Level's hurt.
I'm not hurt. No, I'm not hurt at all. I just want to go back because I want to give my take. First of all, I'm not the one to defend Nintendo anymore.
I know you agree with us, but I know it's just kind of hurt because, like,
Yeah.
man, I don't want to agree, but I got to.
No, I want to agree because to me it ain't. This is my thing. All right. So first of all, I have to preface what I'm saying through the. I don't know what Nintendo is doing, so I am saying if this is the dumbest, backwards, detached thing that Nintendo could do, and that's why I use it's unnecessary. Nintendo is in a position where they have so many examples, so many people in their company, outside of their company, advisors. They seek out, they send their games to be played and do what they call those test situations where they test the game or allow people to come in and play the game and get feedback. And they got all this. Nintendo does all that research and development,
focus
all that
groups?
stuff that they do.
Like focus groups.
Yeah, focus groups and stuff like that. So all this information and research that they do, to me, Nintendo has to know that this approach right here is stupid, is a failure out the gate, is foolish, is horrible, and is unnecessary. You notice I used all our different words. It don't make sense. So I'm gonna say they can't be doing this. I'm praying that this is not Nintendo's approach. Now, if it is, everything that y'all said is 100% co-signed by me. I don't disagree with nothing. I feel the same sentiments that y'all feel if this is actually what Nintendo plan on doing. If Ori's headset and this contraption, this whatever it is the way that we have to approach voice chat, is just dumb to me. Another thing, going back to friends codes was dumb. Going to limiting voice chat with folks in your friends list is dumb. And it goes back to what Jedi Knight says. Why do you feel like you need to be my chaperone, my guardian, and I'm 38 years old? I think I can make that decision of my own. And if I don't want to hear this random player, I can give me the option to mute them. Give me the option to boot them out of my game or whatever, but give me that option. Don't you make that decision for me. Give me that option to make the decision myself. Or why give me parent controls and I can literally turn the switch off if my kids are playing too long. I can monitor what games they've been playing and how long they've been playing them, but you won't give me the power to monitor their online situation. I guess I'm not smart enough to do that. So I refuse to believe at this present moment that this is Nintendo's approach. But if it is, it's the dumbest thing I have heard. Now, I want to say this. I believe this was what Nintendo was going to bank on. And I think once they got the backlash, they delayed everything. Because y'all know that the online services freakishly got delayed to 2018 out the blue right after Ori announced this headset.
That was like,
Man.
Now that might be too fast of a turnaround, but I find it very strange that you would let Ori and you would license this headset, put Splatoon all over it, create this receiver in a square shape, and I don't think Ori is out the loop on how you are approaching your online services and voice chat. So this might have been Ori's way of circumventing the dilemma that the Switch and Nintendo's approach is presenting. This is their way of usurping that. That's what I was thinking. So I'm like, okay. And then when Nintendo came out and said their online services will be free all the way through 2017, and then they will start charging in 2018, that made me feel like something is awry. Something, they might have been planning something that they seen as problematic, and the success of the Switch is making them rethink their approach on some stuff. So they're going to give it to us for free, but I think they finna change that voice chat and other stuff. I think they might have been doing what Ori was doing with this headset. I'm gonna go to Jedi and then D2K and then Keith and K-Bug. Go ahead, Jedi. What you say to that?
To add to what you just said, this is what I believe Nintendo is doing. I think Nintendo is trying to limit online access to the Nintendo Switch as much as they can, because they're trying to really crack down on piracy and homebrews and all of this nonsense, right? That is the only thing that I can imagine why they would even allow this to happen. You have to think about it, right? We have the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360, you can do pretty much everything on the Xbox 360, I believe, outside of like cross-platform chat. Like if somebody's playing a different game than you can't talk to them while they're playing another game. But outside of that, you can pretty much do anything. There's nothing that I can think of regarding the Nintendo Switch to why they are not able to implement a standard voice chat ability on the Switch. There is nothing. You can't say it's the RAM. The 360 had 512 megabytes of RAM. The Switch has 4 gigs. You can't say it's the GPU, CPU. It's obviously stronger than the 360. There is no excuse. You can't say that it's the internet connection, because you don't even need 4G. As long as you have a hotspot Wi-Fi connection, you are good. There is no reason. Nintendo is trying to keep the internet accessibility away from the Switch, and this is why they're doing it. And they're killing themselves with this. How do you have thousands of people working at Nintendo of Japan, Nintendo of America, and not one person could have told you that this is a bad freaking idea? Not one person. You could have had a controlled test. You could have had any Nintendo gamer or any just random gamer and then sat them down and showed them this and said, would you do this? Any gamer would tell them, no, I wouldn't do this. They're trying to push it. They're pushing the envelope. And it's because, in my opinion, they're trying to keep the internet off of the Switch. And if that's the case, you shouldn't have made a tablet hybrid portable console. Why have a tablet if you can't even access the internet? It's a travesty what they're doing right now.
Now, I was under the impression that we can't access the internet at this time, but that was coming later, right? Ain't that what they said?
Yeah, but maybe, I mean, until we get
you might be right, though. You might be right. Right.
It seems like everything that they're doing is anti-online. Everything that they're doing is anti-online. You don't have standard apps. You can't have regular voice chat. It's like they're making it overly difficult.
Do you think they're trying to approach it like Apple, where when they do open it up, is literally locked to their apps and their because Apple don't let you just put any app. I think it got to come from their store and their
But I mean, I can't even say that because at least Apple has an app store.
Okay.
It's like whatever Nintendo is trying to do, they haven't done it yet. So we don't know. But Android
Right.
has the Play Store. Apple has the App Store. They have their areas to where you can get and purchase apps or download apps, what have you. Nintendo, they are anti-online. That is what it's looking like. There's no way
Okay.
in the hell it's 2017 and online is an afterthought. I mean, we're to the point now where there are games that you can only play online. How are you anti-internet?
Well, and you bring up a point, but I'm gonna bring it up after we go through this because you bring up something. I'm gonna hold that. But I'm gonna let D2K jump in here, then Keith, then K-Bum. Then I'm gonna come back to what you just said, Jedi, because you bring up a point that I wanna talk about. Go ahead, D2K.
Well, I agree with everything you said. I would take it a step further and say Nintendo is anti-consumer, period.
Ooh.
For everybody outside of their Nintendo fan base bubble. In terms of the Nintendo fan base, they're not anti-consumer because they do what the Nintendo loyal fan base wants, and that's pretty much what they've done, I would say, probably since the Wii going forward. That's the reason why they don't really seem to complain that much. I mean, then the loyal Nintendo fan base, they may not want to admit that they would like to have some of these features that Microsoft has, that Sony has, and get on PC. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really bother them that much. But for people who are outside of that bubble, the vast majority of the gaming populace, I would add, they want those things. And that's the reason why those tallies are not going towards Nintendo's consoles, because Nintendo's not giving those features to them. So, it just doesn't make any sense to me how you could say that you really want to be successful and you're not trying to give yourself all the opportunities to be successful. You're handicapping yourself on purpose, and it doesn't really make any sense. I mean, maybe Nintendo has some kind of secret agreement with, these companies behind the scenes that said that we're going to nerf our attempts going forward so that we don't crush you. I mean, think about it. If Nintendo, let's just say that the Switch, instead it was a Switch, it was a Nintendo NX, and it was more powerful than Scorpio. And it had all the power, and it had all the features that you're supposed to have, and it had all the same games, and the graphics were out of this world. People would be going nuts over that console. How would Microsoft and Sony compete with that? They could. But now the Nintendo decide we're just going to pick this little quiet lane over here and leverage what's been successful with us in the past, which is portable gaming arena. We're satisfied with just making profit. We're satisfied with just making money. We're just satisfied with being in the black with our, software, with our hardware, and we'll let Microsoft and Sony fight it out in the ring, and we'll just make our money over here. Maybe that's what they're doing. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me, because I can't see why you would intentionally sabotage yourself at every turn. It just seems like every time they have something good going for them, there's always something that they do that's stupid that messes everything up. I mean, even if, like Jedi was saying, like, how are you going to have a tablet console that doesn't do what tablet stuff does? I mean, why do I need to download an app on my cellular?
The fact that you even said that, it didn't come out of my mouth, but I heard you say it. It sounds even more dumber.
I mean, it's like it's just kind of like what Rich was saying. Like, well, what happens if now if let's say you have a cell phone or a tablet that has that you have a service on, you got to make sure that device is charged before you start using it, because if it's starting to go down, then you could lose power in the middle of the game, and then you lose your connection. You can't talk to anybody. So now you got to plug this device into the wall, Now you got a wall. Yeah, now you got a cord going from the wall into the cell phone. Then you got a cord going from the headphone jack into this splitter. Then going from the splitter into the switch, and then from the switch into the headphones. Like, I gotta do all of this just to talk to somebody. And even if you have a Bluetooth headphone set up where you don't have to connect it to the actual splitter thing, the Hori splitter, you still got all that other junk that has to be connected in order for you to do it. You still have to use the app. So that's only making it less inconvenient. So it just, I don't know. To me, it just seems like Nintendo is intentionally doing stupid stuff to let Microsoft and Sony allow them to exist, basically. Because if Nintendo did everything that they were supposed to do, we've said this many times, if Nintendo did everything that they were supposed to do, then Microsoft and Sony couldn't compete. And it would be a monopoly, and things would get very boring, and there wouldn't be any competition. It just wouldn't be able to compete. Maybe this is necessary. Maybe this is what has to happen in order to keep things balanced, for Nintendo to do stupid stuff.
Okay, Keith, come on here, man. What's your thoughts? I know K-Bun want to say. Hush up, man. You gonna get your chance to chime back. But go ahead, Keith. What's your thoughts?
Okay, so, and I'm just going to touch on what Jedi was talking about with the iPhone. So you come to Nintendo and you say, Nintendo, I want a hamburger with everything on it. And that's bun, lettuce, tomato, pickles, onions. And Nintendo will look at it and they say, how can we change this and make this better? No, Nintendo, I just want a hamburger with everything on it. And they go through this unnecessary process
Make this better.
of trying to change stuff that don't need to be changed. Like, you don't need to change anything. And like he was talking about the iPhone. Like, I don't know how far back the iPhone go. Maybe the iPhone 5S or 5 or whatever. Every app works on, the phone going forward. So there's the iPhone 5, 6, and down to 7. With Nintendo, they created this great app store on the Wii and the WiiWare. They had all this great stuff. And then they moved to the Wii U and they got rid of it. And then they did it again with the Wii U, and the Wii U's app store is incredible right now. And what did they do? They got rid of it, and now they're redoing it again on the Switch. Like, why? All this stuff you've already done. Now you're using manpower and hours and stuff like that and focusing all this energy on rebuilding it. For what? It's unnecessary. And that's all I want to say about the whole iPhone thing. And that is kind of anti-consumerism because it's already there. I've already purchased this stuff. It's already there. And now you want me to redo it again. But that's all I had, man. Stop trying to change the game at this. Huh?
No. I wanted to. You can finish. I just wanted to add to that real quick.
I was just basically saying you don't have to always change the game. Like when there's something that needs to be changed and fixed, then do it. But if it's something that people have already been used to, and if you can improve upon it, use the baseline of what it is and then improve upon it. Don't change the foundation. But
the Switch is a solution looking for a problem.
Pretty much.
Repeat that again, brother. I want to make sure I caught that.
I said the Switch is a solution looking for a problem.
Well, I'm gonna use that one. I like that.
Go ahead. Was you finna say something, Jedi? I think
just real quick, and I said this on Twitter. What I don't understand is how is it that Nintendo is using the latest technology, as in like USB Type-C, but they use model implementation from like 1995. We're talking about dongles and all of this other nonsense. Like, how do you have the latest technology, but your approach is 20 years too late? It makes no sense. And you put all of that technology into the HD Rumble pieces, right? Like the controllers, yet if you decide that you want to play this in dock mode, you have the audio jack on the tablet part. So if you sit far away from your television, how are you supposed to play? Like, you could have looked at the PlayStation 4 controller and seen that the jack is on the controller.
The controller.
There is no damage controlling this. There is none. There's no damage controlling this. It is stupid.
And I already said from the longest, if there's
go ahead, K-Ball. What you say?
If there's two players, what you doing?
with this solution, what you're doing with 2 players.
That's a good point.
I've said this. I said it on Twitter. What are you doing? Because this goes into the audio jack of the Switch, which is only one.
You only have one. Exactly.
So with 2 players, am I jacking now into the one jack, which now jacks into both controllers, but now jacks into the Switch? Or am I missing something?
I got to buy an adapter for that. So you can have 2 jacks.
You're gonna have a dongle for that too. You're gonna have 15.
And let me bring.
Okay.
Let me bring
It's
this
no
up.
longer
Let me bring this up.
do that.
Oh man.
Let me add this to the flame. All right. So Jedi, you were saying earlier that most games are going online only or online dominant, right?
Like there are many games that are currently doing it now, but
Yeah, but it's trending like right now.
it's definitely
games are
trending in that direction.
Trending towards going mostly online is the first thought. Single player is the second thought. Now, here's the crazy thing. Nintendo is also doing the same thing with some of their games. Splatoon 2 is an online first game. Splatoon is an online first game. ARMS is online first. The ideal is to play online first. Single player, yes, it's there to be if you want to play single player. But what Nintendo has been pushing, and that's why they're doing the punch test or the punch fire and the Splatoon global test fire and all that stuff, is to test the online aspect of 2 very online dominated games. Now, how do you have games that are dominated by online gameplay? Mario Kart is trending more towards online. Most folks want to play online. Why and how do you have 3 online dominating games and don't have your online infrastructure worked out? So, like, it goes back to what you said, because then he brought up another point, and I brought this up to K-Bum. If this is the answer, if Ori's headset, and we got to move on, we won't be here too much longer. If Ori's headset is Nintendo's, is a, I guess, insight to Nintendo's thought process to how they're going to approach online. If Ori is kind of giving us an inside look at that process, then it does not address dock mode, because I'm not going to always be playing in tabletop or portable. How am I going to play when my Switch is docked? What am I going to do with this dongle? What am I going to do with my phone? How is that going to work? So it seems to me that, like all you guys said, Keith said it, Jedi Knight has been saying it, T2K, K-Bum, yourself, is if Nintendo is still approaching online as a second-minded approach to everything else, because they do have USB Type-C. I made the video talking about the fact that audio can go through USB Type-C. They have headsets that you can hook through the USB C-type and get audio and all that. They got those type of headsets out there. So that's an approach. But is Nintendo thinking that way? Bluetooth, is Nintendo thinking that way? And so it's like what K-Bum said at the beginning and Keith echoed. This is all Nintendo's fault. That much you cannot write off. You can't give a pass. Nintendo constantly being late to explaining what something isn't. If they ain't ready to explain what it is, like K-Bum said, at least tell us what it isn't. You can do that while keeping your secrecy and mystery still in the dark. But the fact that here you have licensed this headset and it's problematic across the board. I haven't heard too many people say they want this. Are saying it. I don't know why they would say that. I can't, you like you said, Jedi, there's nothing to damage control here. Only thing we can do is say that we are as of yet to know if this is actually what Nintendo is going to do. But I'm going to say I believe it probably was, looking at the reaction and what came out after that. So that tells me that you probably was going to do this, and that reaction made you release your own line, and we could transition from there to this because it's all in the same conversation. They released what they plan to do somewhat with their online features, the pricing, and everything right after this Ori headset announcement. So let's kind of transition into that and then get off into some other stuff because I don't want to stay here too long. So, Keith, since I started with everybody else, I need to come to you. What was your thoughts on the breakdown of Nintendo's pricing for their online services? Meaning, a month is, I think, what, $4.99?
$3.99.
It's $3.99.
Yeah, $3.99, $6.99, I think, and then $19.99.
$20. Yeah. So, what's your
well,
thoughts on that?
Well, number one, I'm still not a believer in paying for online, but these prices aren't bad. I can get behind these prices. But you're right. They released this to soothe it over. Like, hey man, look, $20 a year. You good? No, I'm just playing. But no, I like the prices, but I don't know. I'm not an online paying person, so. But I can get behind these prices.
Okay, K-Bum 20.
But the question about the online and the price?
Yeah.
Well, that was a question. I want to make sure I'm getting it right.
Yeah, like what did you think about the price scale of the online services? Even though we still don't know fully what we get, and we got a little bit of answers. But go ahead. Yeah, what was your thoughts on that?
No, the price is good for something that can be questionable. That has so many question marks about it. If they would have came out here and said $50. Boy, people would have been like, you can take that 50 and shove it because we don't know. You just told me I got to connect something for voice chat. And then you ain't told me what you're really going to do with it. And so I think them putting themselves so much below, so further below everyone else, I think that's an excellent idea. You do that, and then because you can't be out here asking for $50 and your feature set doesn't match the other people that's charging $50. That's not how this thing works. So I think for easing people in, I think $20 is a good starting point. If they're anything like the others, they're probably going to raise it up in probably a couple of years or so when they get a more flushed out system. But $20, that's a good price. I mean, I can't hate about that. I can't be mad about that. I mean, free is better, but if they're going to charge $20 is a good price. So that's probably the best.
You said you rather have that free.
Free is better, but. Yeah, but
free $99.
It's not bad. I mean, it's a really good price. But you still don't know what you're getting for that $20. But $20 is much easier to chew on than them saying it's $49.99 with all these issues. Okay,
D2K.
I think that for what you're getting, it should be free. But $20 is not bad. It's somewhere. It's kind of like a compromise. It's like. Basically, they're saying that we know we're not able to offer you all the things that you're going to get from Xbox Live or PlayStation Network. So we're just going to give you somewhat of that, and we're going to charge you a little bit less than half of what you're paying, or a little more, or more than less than half. So, that's fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with the price point for what you're getting because you're not really getting a whole lot for $20. So. As it is right now, I don't really have a problem with it. We'll find out more about it at E3, what you're actually getting, and they'll probably talk about it in more detail there and have it more fleshed out. But based off of what we've heard so far, yeah, that's okay, I guess.
Okay. Jedi Knight.
It's a terrible price.
Oh. Ooh.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
The online situation, what very little we know, is worse than the prior generations. Not only was the prior generations free, but you didn't need to have any other access to any other devices to utilize the service. You need a phone to use the online service, which means that you need something outside of the console. It is not a good price. they should pay us to use the service. Like, and I know I'm going ham on Nintendo right now. And really, my intention wasn't to do that. I'm feeling myself right now. But seriously, $20 is they should pay us to use the service, because we have to use our phone. We have to set up this crazy contraption with all these wires just to then get limited voice chat. And then we're not even going to get, we're not going to get, full features. And then they want to charge you for that. Like, I think people are saying that, hey, for $20, that's not bad. That's only because you're comparing it to the $50 that consoles are currently charging. But when you have PCs that are giving it for free, and then compare what the PC is for free to what Nintendo is trying to charge $20 for, they should pay us to use the service. It's a terrible price. They need to go to E3 and say that contraption was an April Fool's joke that was a couple months too late. That's it, man. It's a bad price.
The only pushback I'll give to that is that some people will bring up the argument and say, well, what's the difference between, the amount of money that you pay for AT&T or Spectrum or Dish Network or whatever for internet, and use that internet service to connect to Xbox Live and PlayStation.
Yeah, what I would suggest is, well, first of all, I'm kind of in the camp with Keith. Like, I shouldn't even have to be paying for these services at all, especially when people are paying $50 for like Xbox Live and PS4 Network, and then if they happen to pay with their credit cards, they're putting their information at risk, right? But at least with those services, you're getting, for the most part, an overall good service. I don't really hear anybody who complains about like paying and then the service after they've paid for it. They may complain about paying the $50, but they don't complain about the service.
The only places where people complain about on the Sony side was when they were being attacked and the PSN was down a lot. Yeah, that was the biggest argument against Sony's online service, was how much it was actually down compared to the Xbox service. But outside of that, you're getting a decent return on the value and the money you're paying. Because I'm actually been going back and forth with somebody about them offering you those free games for the Switch when you got the system, and they offer you free. They're offering you free with Nintendo games, NES games. Right.
Yeah, they don't. Right now, look what they showed. They showed Balloon Fight. They showed Mario. I think Super Mario 3, and they showed what was the third game they showed? But there was just examples of what you will be getting as a subscriber to the online to get 2 or 3 games with your subscription, something like that. I can't remember how they put it.
Right.
But they all be online and stuff like that.
But these are 30 year old games, right?
Yeah.
When you compare it to the other guys who are giving you games that came out that year, you're getting for free.
Right.
You get games that came out that. No, I'm saying I'm going back and forth with somebody in the chat about it.
Oh yeah, you're right. It ain't comparable. You can't compare that.
I guess it depends on the individual, because like for someone like me, for my phone service, I only pay like about $35 a month, and I get a decent amount of data to use. If I were to take that plus the $20 for 1 year for Nintendo service, that's the $20 for 1 year and the $35 a month for my ordinary service. So it's not as much as what I'm paying, like $50 a month for Spectrum services for their internet, and then having to tack on another $50 or $60 for PlayStation Network or for Xbox Live for a year. So it is, you are saving some money there, but I still agree that it's I still don't think that Nintendo should be charging you at all. I don't think that what they're offering you is worth charging you anything. But if they have to charge something, I'm not going to render next for $20.
Well, I want to
Yeah,
add something to
that's
what
what I
Jedi
was
was
about
saying.
to say.
I want to add something to what Jedi
Go
was
ahead,
saying.
Keith.
He said about the phone. You don't need your phone to actually access internet. It's just the voice chat. So just paying the $20 and then being able to go online and play Mario Kart when it's no longer free or ours or something like that. You don't need your phone. I just want to put that out there, but it don't justify the $20 anything like that though.
Yeah, like that, and that's my thing. I don't know at this present moment if the $20 is justified. It's better than having to play 50, but if what you're getting is, because to me 50, I feel like what Sony and Microsoft offer should be free, but if you're going to charge for it, should be $20 because I don't believe they're offering you anything that's remotely close to being worth the $50. So with that being said, yes, 20 is a lot cheaper than 50.
I don't know if I
don't
agree with
I don't-
that.
Look,
For me,
this is why I say what I say.
for me, it's worth it because of the games that I've gotten for free. It's worth it. You know, I've gotten games that
But that's
cost
what I'm saying.
well over $50 for free.
Yep.
Right. I agree. But me, who don't have a external hard drive, so and don't have space for the games, and I ain't big on going back and playing a lot of them, even though they might be PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 games or early Xbox One games. Most of the time, I don't really care. I'm the same way with Nintendo, so it ain't no. I don't care about playing too many old games on Nintendo. So for me, the only thing I'm buying is the ability to talk online. So for me, having to pay $50 for a service that I don't utilize, you're right, D2K. It works for you because it works because you playing those games and you like them. Me, I don't play none of the games. I'm literally paying $50 to talk to K-Bum, to talk to D2K, to talk to Jedi, and I feel like they should give you options. If you just want voice chat, you don't want all the games and stuff, then there should be a separate price for that.
Well,
if you want the game,
one of the things,
so that's what I'm saying.
What things about that is that you don't have to have all those games on your hard drive because I don't. I mean, I only have the games that I'm actually playing. Those games sit in your queue, and you can download those games whenever you want
they
them.
They in my queue,
Yeah,
but I'm not about to delete anything to put it in. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So,
but the thing is, like, it's not like they're not giving you PlayStation 3. You get PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 games with the PS3 subscription. You're not just getting PlayStation 3. You get some game that is for your PS4 and some game that is for your PS3 every month. And some of those, I've even got the DLC for Infamous for free, which was legit. Got an NBA 2K for free. That saved me $20 because I buy it every year. They gave me that for free, download to my system. Like, I'm not getting, they give you PS3 games, but they give you either a PSN game or they give you a straight up PS4 games, and including anything from the PS3 or the Vita that you can get as well. So to me, someone not utilizing those free games you're paying for it, and I agree. I see your point about getting the two different pay styles, and I agree.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. For me, it ain't.
I agree.
Yeah. But if I was utilizing all that, then I feel like 20 should be what $20 or $30 should be what you pay for a year service. I've always felt that way, but I don't know if Nintendo's service is worth the 20, cause like Keith said, yes, you can access the app from the Switch, but if I have to have my phone to use voice chat, I can't even answer that question. Like, why? What? Yeah, because I didn't know what to say after that. Why? What? Okay, if I could do all this from the Switch, it should be optional, just like the pairs control. That should be optional if I want to put that app on my phone. What if I don't want to add all that to my phone? I should be able to do it from the Switch. I shouldn't have to have the phone to do voice chat, and I shouldn't have to pay you $20 to do that.
Right.
And that's my problem. So I don't know if Switch online service is worth the $20, even though 20 is a nice price. If you're getting what Sony and Microsoft is giving you, or something equivalent to that, that's how I feel about it. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I thought there was good prices, but like Jedi Knight said, not knowing what you're getting, I can't say whether this is a good price for what Nintendo is giving you. A good price if it's equivalent to or around what Sony and Microsoft is giving you minus a few modern games and different things like that, then I say it's worth that. That's a good price.
Yeah, I mean,
that's my answer.
I think that maybe if this Netflix style of retro gaming is true about what Nintendo could implement as the virtual console, that could be worth the $20.
Yeah.
But it even with that said, it depends on the library, and I don't mean like just the amount of games, but the generation of games. Like, you can't keep selling me Mario from the NES days. That's not going to work anymore. I had it for the NES. I purchased Super Mario All-Stars on the Super Nintendo. I have it emulated on my PC. It's like I've had this game so many different times. You've received your money for that game from me. How many times are you going to sell it to me? Now I can understand if you're going to implement some Wii games, some GameCube games, and kind of widen that, then yeah, I can see the return on the investment. It's kind of like what K-Bomb said earlier. Like, when you pay $50 or $60 to Microsoft and Sony, you're getting your money's worth. Let me just tell you what I downloaded just the past couple of weeks. I downloaded Overwatch, but I didn't get a chance to really play it because I was just busy the past couple of weeks. But they had like this free trial for people who never really played the game, which I haven't, to really get into it. And I downloaded it. I played like the first 5 minutes once it was downloaded. Then I was like, I can't play it right now, and I never got a chance to pick it up again. And when I decided to, that trial was already done. Generally, that's not how games are done on a PS4. When you download a game, these are like AAA type games, and it's yours. Like, right. I think it's still running now. I think you can download Tales of the Borderlands. This is how I got into the Borderlands franchise. It was from Telltale. When I played that game, I then purchased on the PC Borderlands 1. Like, this is what Sony is doing. Right? These are experiences that I'm not getting on Nintendo because Nintendo is busy trying to sell me Super Mario Brothers for the 40th time. And then you want to charge the $20, and I acknowledge what Keith said about, not needing the phone to really get online if you're not, having to use the voice chat. I just think in general, you're trying to charge me, like, even if I don't worry about voice chat, you're trying to charge me for something that I already had for free, Yeah. With the limitations, and then I've already had it for free. So there's no way in the world that I can tell you that it's worth $20 when I already had it for free. I don't know what you're providing me that is worth the $20 because everything that I know I could have, I already had for free. And that's what I meant by I wasn't trying to be, super crazy or just going ham. I literally, the $20, I don't see value in it.
Yeah, if they do that Netflix thing and they announce that at E3, what Nintendo needs to do is lead with saying the first games that are going to be available on that service are GameCube games.
It would be a wrap right there.
Yep.
They would win E3 right there.
Yep. And you want to know why? Because that's what the people have been asking for.
Right. That's where I'm at with it. I'm with Jedi Knight. To me, I don't see what I'm getting for $20, so I can't say if it's worth that. And to me, it's still yet to be determined. And when Nintendo fully address us about what they're actually doing with all details revealed, then I could say whether I believe that $20 is worth it or not. At this present moment, yes, it's cheaper than what I paid for my Sony and Xbox One, but that ain't telling me nothing because I know what I'm paying for with Sony and Microsoft. We don't know what we're paying for with Nintendo. So $20 ain't gonna be just going into a dark. I'm not gonna throw $20 into a dark room and hope that something good come out of it. I want to see what's in the room first before I give you my $20. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we throwing $20 into a dark room and don't know what we getting in. And I'm like, it's good. I mean, yeah, it's cheaper, but I can look through Sony's room. I can look through Xbox and Microsoft room and determine whether my $50 is worth being given. But with Nintendo, me saying $20 is reasonable to what? What am I balancing it off of? I don't know. So right now, I'm gonna keep my $20 in my pocket until you show me a reason to hand you my $20. That's how I feel about it. And,
From my game saying it. I would keep my $300 in my pocket because they're acting like fools right now.
I understand, and that's fair. I mean, that's fair. You know, but
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If I see the game that I want to see at E3, I don't know.
Generally speaking, I'm talking crazy right now. If they put out some games that I want, of course I'm going to buy it. But just like really just to set the tone and to deliver a point. Like I'm there. I'm about there with Nintendo with the bull crap, you know.
Oh, I've been way over there a long time ago. They jumped the shark years ago.
Right.
Me, you know.
Well, they definitely got to stop. We finna move to the E3 part. We end on here. They definitely got to stop with selling you games that you bought on your DS, on your Wii, on your 3DS, on your Wii U, now your Switch. Many of us bought I just used the first Mario Brothers. We have bought that game several times. I feel like there should be at a point, like Keith saying, that stuff should just transition over to your new system. And they shouldn't be creating new reasons for having to buy old stuff that you bought 3-4 times already. Why is this stuff not carrying over with? Yeah, that don't make sense.
And that's why I actually give Xbox thumbs up for their little backwards compatibility. I thought that was legit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have too many Xbox games, but when they opened it up, I was able to just download the games that I played on my Xbox direct to my Xbox One. I'm like, man, they winning with this. That's legit.
Absolutely love it.
Shout out to Microsoft.
Yeah, shout out to Microsoft about that. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you were talking about, you didn't have to repurchase this game, and you may get an itch to want to go play it. You just pop it up and it's already downloaded. It's not even a CD anymore. Just go play it.
Like I was saying before, some of the games even save your save progress transfers over, so you can just pick up right where you left off, like I did with Hard Corps Rising. You know.
Yep.
So
it would really add value to their online service if Nintendo did that. Like I can understand in the short view, hey, if we have these different platforms and we're going to have people purchase this game multiple times across different platforms, but if you have one ecosystem and then you give people the privilege to be able to transfer their games over to their platforms, not only will people deal with your other platforms, but it gives that system value because people know that they have games on there. It allows them to stay within that platform. So in the long run, it becomes popular and has a sense of longevity. You know, it's the nickel and diamond. You cannot do this forever, man. You can't do it forever.
Yep, because I know some people that try to go from Android to iPhone. And I've already spent all this money.
And another thing is, if Nintendo was able to do that, to have out remember when they were talking about the NX and they didn't want it to just be like the console but an ecosystem or a plethora of devices? Remember those talks?
Mm-hmm.
Like if they had and we were thinking about, hey, maybe this thing is not really just hardware, but more like an operating system and all. It's like, where did all that go? You know, how can we depend on Nintendo to even do something like that when they can't even get voice chat right? Like they're not dependable, you know? But further than that, I mean, if they wanted to do a virtual console, they would be able to go to E3 and say, not only will you be able to do these GameCube games, but we can up-res it to 1080p or 1440p or what have you. And all of the multiplayer games that was there, you'll be able to play on the Switch, online. It's man, there's so many things that Nintendo can do.
In the first thing they show, Smash Bros. Melee online. Drop the mic, walk off the stage.
Could you imagine that, D2K, for real?
Right. So let's get to this. Let's move on. Let's transition. But I want to do this real quick. Keith, what was you saying a second ago? You were saying something. I want to give you the opportunity to say it. Then we're gonna move on to E3.
No, I was basically just picking back off what Jedi was saying. It's like when people they like, oh, I want to get an iPhone, or I've been using an iPhone, but I want to transition to the Android. And then they look at all the stuff they bought on the iPhone, and they're like, I'm already invested. I'm not gonna move over. I'm good. So,
right.
Good point.
I got you. It creates an incentive to stick with it. So because you got so much money and so much stuff invested already with that, you don't want to lose all those investments moving to a different platform. Because that's how I am with my. I got so much on it, I don't want to move to Apple because I know a lot of it can't transfer over. So I've been sticking with not Galaxy, but Android devices because of all the stuff I have on it that I'm going to lose. When I go to an Apple phone, I won't be able to put all this in that phone. So that's been causing me to stick with Android, to be honest. But let's move on, man. We end on this. So E3 is next Sunday. For a week from today, Microsoft will be having their press conference. Sony will be having their press conference that Monday. And Nintendo, I think, on Tuesday will be having their digital event or whatever. But it won't be a conference. So since we got the whole crew, we might meet up this Thursday. I'm not for sure, but we definitely won't get a chance to hear from Jedi Knight before that time. So let's talk about it now. Starting with Jedi Knight, man, what are you predicting and what do you want to see at this year's E3, man, from these three companies? Let's start with Microsoft and let everybody kind of get what they want to see from Microsoft. Then we'll move to Sony and then Nintendo, and then we get out of here.
All right.
So what do you want to see Microsoft?
I want to see Microsoft come to the conference and show that they can actually pull off 4K gaming with 60 frames per second. I think 60 frames per second is important. You know, I'm not the type of gamer to say, hey, anything below 60 frames per second is unplayable. But I do understand that frames are important, especially when you're able to play from like 30 frames to 60 frames. It is a difference. It is obvious. I think that if Microsoft can pull off 4K, 60 frames per second, I think the PC has legit competition, especially with the alleged price of it being $449. That would be outstanding if they did that. With Sony, I would love for them to support PlayStation VR. It's a damn shame how so many people.
Don't go Sony yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't go to Sony yet. We go stick with Microsoft first, then we go to Sony.
All right. Cool.
So you said you want to see them?
Yeah, I want them. I want them to pull off 4K 60 frames per second. That would be cool to see.
So basically, you want to see everything that they got to show with the Scorpio.
Yeah, really. You know, I mean, but just not just the Scorpio. I think I would like to see if they can hit those benchmarks. I think it would be important.
Okay, Keith Norris, what do you want to see from Microsoft, man?
A new game that doesn't start with Halo, Gears, or Forza. No, I actually got a prediction. This is gonna be kind of weird. I think Microsoft should do a game that's in the Gears of War franchise, but they should make it like XCOM. I don't know if anybody's familiar with XCOM on the PC, but it's like a tactical strategy shooter, and I could see them doing something like that with Gears of War. But I just want to throw that prediction out there because that's the only one I got. I just want to see, like I said, I just want to see Microsoft come up with some new game that gets your mouth watering, like oh, I gotta buy this game on the Xbox platform. Because I already know they're gonna come out talking about, oh, we can make all your old games play better. I don't care. Where are your new games at? So that's it for them.
Okay. K-Bum 20.
So what's the question again? Make sure I'm talking about the right thing. I know we're talking
What
about.
do you want to see? Yeah, what do you want to see them do?
What I want to see them do. Okay, what I want to see them do. Okay. I want to see them, and I kind of said this for the VR last year. But again, if you're going to show me this brand new system, that's going to be next gen, not next gen. I don't know what you're doing. But if you're going to show me this, I need to. You need to give people a reason to buy it. And I don't know if 4K gaming is a good enough. It's a good enough reason. I don't know. I don't think so. Because if that was a good enough reason, then the pros be flying off the shelves. I don't think just 4K gaming is a good enough reason to buy the Scorpio. So they need something else to gravitate people towards, and maybe an announcement about Halo Lens, being compatible with Scorpio, or maybe the VR, just some that makes Scorpio sticks out from the competition. And just saying 4K game is not good enough. And I would love to see them having an original game, and not try to convince me that Sea of Thieves is their next big hit. That'd be awesome if they don't try to do that. But anyway, yeah. So that's all I got from them is give a good reason. Separate Scorpio from Xbox One, because I think selling them as this is a better version of Xbox One is not the case. Because I could have swore that's what the Slim thing was that came out, was a better version of Xbox One. So just selling the Scorpio as a better Xbox One that's going to play all the same games as Xbox One, I don't think that's how you sell that. I know they say they're not going to have games looking different, but I don't know how you can do that, and not looking different. Sorry, that the same games are going to be on both consoles, and I don't know
parity.
So, yeah, parity. Yeah, I don't know how you sell that when you're asking for me to spend more money, and you have the system that's going to be watered down because it wants to look similar. Not similar, but it's going to play the same games that its brother or cousin or wherever it's going to play. So I don't know. So that's what I'm looking for them to do.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna ask this to ask this is Jedi Knight next, but before I ask him, not Jedi, but D2K, save all your predictions because we're gonna do that all in one lump sum. I'm gonna ask each one of y'all to give y'all prediction towards the end before we get out here. So don't worry about saying your predictions. Just what you want to see them do as a company. Microsoft, D2K.
Are we just doing what are we doing what we want to see and then what we don't want to see, or can we wrap that up in one comment? That's what I want to see.
Just don't give your predictions.
I'm not giving the predictions, but just saying that. Can I say what I don't want to see?
Yeah, you can do both. Yeah, you can do both in like what you want to see and what you don't want to see. Yeah.
Okay, what I do not want to see is Microsoft lead off with Call of Duty anything. Period. As a matter of fact, I don't want to see Call of Duty any place in their entire conference. I really don't. I'm sick of that. I don't know if Microsoft understands this, but Call of Duty does not belong to you. It belongs to Activision. It's not your IP. You should not be forcing this down people's throat at your conference. There's a reason why Nintendo's conference or Nintendo's digital events and Sony's conferences do well, is because they lead with powerhouse IPs that they develop themselves. So what I want to see is something like that from you. Now, if you have Halo 6, that should be the first thing that we see. I personally would rather see Halo take a long rest and maybe be rebooted somewhere down the line, but that's what I want to see. I want to see them talk about all these so-called first-party development games they're working on. I want to see that. I want them to tell us just exactly whether or not Scorpio is a mid-gen upgrade or if it's an actual next-gen console. I think that needs to be differentiated at this conference, so people can understand what they're working with here. I don't really care much about the third party. I know that will be there. Just give me some good first-party stuff to go by, because we already know the Scorpio is powerful. I don't care about you showing me how many frames per second, how the resolution. I don't care. I know it can do that. Just show me what games I will be playing in that resolution and that frame rate. And just give me something that's different than what I've been playing on the Xbox One and the Scorpio. So that way I feel like if I want to upgrade the Scorpio, it's worth my money. Because if you can't give me first-party content that's better than what I already have, then why am I buying the Scorpio? If I want to play the best graphics of the game, I'll just play it on my PC. So you're going to have to really wow people with your actual first-party content to make Scorpio a viable choice for people to buy this holiday season.
That's true.
I agree. I would say what I don't want to see is them spend a whole bunch of time talking about the numbers of the Scorpio. I don't want them spend a whole bunch of time showing off the Scorpio and its controllers and its design and the numbers and predictions and projections and capabilities. I want to see actual games running on the Scorpio that we are going to be able to buy that separate it from the pack, including the Xbox, the Xbox OG or the Xbox One system. I think the Scorpio should be its own thing, and I hope that they present it as its own thing, not something like K-Bun was saying that is basically a stronger but yet the same situation. So that would be what I would say with Microsoft. What about Sony? We'll start with Jedi Knight.
For Sony, I would like to see them provide something for PlayStation VR. I think that a lot of people went out and supported their virtual reality division, and they need to have some games for it. I think there was some games that I thought had really good potential. There was Riggs. I really liked the way Riggs looked. I thought they were going in the right direction. But I'm a person that usually sits on the sideline and see how things develop. And as far as I know at this moment, VR hasn't really developed and they've been super quiet on that front. So I would like to see something on that and not pretend like VR didn't happen. What I don't want to see from Sony is, I don't know. I think for the most part, Sony always comes with, solid conferences. So I don't really have, I don't know. I don't have a comment on that aspect. But I really think they should address VR for the people who actually went out and paid $400 for that.
Okay. Keith, Sony.
Okay, what I don't want to see for Sony, I don't want to hear them coming on stage talking about trying to compete with the Scorpio, with the Pro.
Can you speak up a little bit, bro? Kind of hard to hear you.
Am I too low? Okay. Yeah, I don't want to see them trying to compete with the Scorpio. I just want Sony to come out and do their own thing. What I do want to see, and I'm pretty much going to get it because they always bring games, but what I do want to see is I want to see if there's some legit to these rumors about this new hardware that they got coming out. May be true, may not be true, but I would love to see it on stage though. And that's it.
Okay. About 20.
What I want to see from Sony. Okay. I want to see what I do want to say and what I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll say what I don't want to say. I don't want to see. I don't want to see. And I know they haven't done this, but I don't want them to be
to act like the Sony from PS3 era. Be more gracious. The whole next gen doesn't start until we start. They've been so far from that. I don't want to see it to come back because they've been, kind of kicking butt this generation, but don't go back to that. I definitely don't want to see, them, just talk about remasters. That'd be awesome if they don't talk about remasters. I know it's kind of cool when they talked about the only remasters that'll be cool are the ones they've already talked about. Shimu, that one, and then the Final Fantasy VII. That can be talked about because those are fan favorites that have been asked for a while, and they've actually said something about it, and we know that they're coming. So feel free to talk about that. But I don't need a Sly Cooper remaster. I don't need that. Just don't do that to me. And so what I do want them to do. I said this beforehand. They need a killer game for the VR, and it has to be first party. I don't know, and it does. And what they need to do, they need to find out the killer game, and they need to market the crap out of it. Because I know there was another game called Farscape that just came out. That was supposed to be that game. But Sony didn't put any marketing dollars behind that game, and that was supposed to be the game for the VR, and they didn't put any marketing dollars behind it. So I actually have not heard any reactions about it. So I don't know how well it's doing. And so they have to release a first-party game that's not. I don't want to see Uncharted just in VR. I mean, that's not how you do that. You release something that takes full advantage, that's built from the ground up to be VR. You don't give people headaches and make them want to throw up just like Resident Evil did. Don't do that. And so, and also what I want to see is I want to see the games that they showed last year. I want to see something that's very, very important when you show games, especially for 2 years in a row. And those words are release dates. Sony's famous for showing me all these beautiful games. These beautiful games without release dates. If you're gonna show me God of War one more time, you're gonna show me that game with a release date. You're gonna show me Days Gone or Days.
That's it.
Zombie game. Days Gone. If you're gonna show me Days Gone one more time, you're gonna show me that with a release date. Don't go up and say, well, look how pretty this game is. And next.
Came on like or
When that game
else.
coming up. You say what?
I said you gonna show me this or else.
Man, they'll keep you hanging. Deep Down. Where are you, Deep Down?
I forgot about that game.
Thank you. If you can show me a trailer of a new game with no release date, fine. Brand new game, I'm cool with that. I know how you do it. But you ain't about to show me something from last year and don't give me no date. Yeah, you better not fix your mouth to do something like that's a mama right there. You better not fix your mouth to do something like that. So that's about it, man. I think they've done a stellar job. They've got a good round of first-party games and third-party games, second-party games. And I don't really, not that I don't want them to do it now. I'm gonna end right here. I don't want them to announce anything about a new Vita. You've shown me you don't care about handheld gaming, and you will not do what it needs to be done to make handheld gaming a success. So stop doing it. So that's it for me.
Or else.
G2K, Sony.
I want to keep what I have to say encapsulated because I don't want to reach off into predictions. But what I want to see is basically Microsoft, Sony do what they did last year in terms of presentation, just hit me with game, and release dates for those games, and that's basically it. I mean, they don't really need to do much else. I mean, Sony's in a position where they just basically need to hold serve and not try to step out of bounds and do something big and grandiose because they feel they have to counterbalance what could come from Microsoft in their unveiling of Scorpio or anything that Nintendo might be doing. Just go out and do what you do. Just have a stellar, solid lineup. Give us release dates for everything that you showed us last year. Release date for Deep Down. Release date for Days Gone. Release date for Detroit Becoming Human. Release date for God of War. Release date for Spider-Man. Give us some more information about if you're gonna do a Crash Bandicoot remake, tell us about that. You know, if you got some new IP, you know, announce release dates for those IPs. Tell us what's going on with Final Fantasy VII Remake. You know, if it's vaporware, tell us it's vaporware. If it tell, you know, just
well,
you know, well, that's one of the topics.
Square Enix moved.
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, you know, just I'm like, just, you know, just tell. You know, I just want it to be over. I don't want it to be hanging out there. I know Square Enix pushed back Final Fantasy. I know they pushed back Kingdom Hearts 3 to like 2020 or something like that. Or like, but you know, just do solid stuff, and you know, you should be fine. Even if, you know, Nintendo and Microsoft both knock it out of the park, if Sony does just hold serve, I think they'll be fine.
Okay. For me with Sony, I don't want to see another device. I don't want to see another device from Sony. No more devices, man. Stop making devices. Got enough devices as it is. They don't need another device. I don't want to see no Vita 2 or some system that's going to compete with the PlayStation, Xbox Pro, Scorpio. I don't want to see nothing that's a new device. And what I want to see is dates. I echo K-Bum. He basically took it right out my thoughts. I don't want to see another game that doesn't have a date. And I don't mean coming 2018 or coming 2000. No, June 5th, 2018 or May 3rd, 2000. Something. I need dates, solid dates for these games.
Third quarter, 2000. That doesn't work for you.
I mean, we need date now because that's too easy to move. You know, third quarter can mean anything with these companies. So, solidified dates, no new devices. That's my thing for Sony. Nintendo, D2K.
I want to see Cruis'n Blast.
Oh my gosh.
We've been talking about this for a minute, man.
That's what I want to see. That's what I see. If I see Cruis'n Blast, I'll be happy, and I might have to seriously consider getting a Switch for that game. If Cruis'n Blast shows up in the arcade near me, then all bets are off. But if it comes to the Switch, then I'm gonna have to think about it. I want to see that. I want to see new IP from Nintendo. I want to see an answer for all this nonsense with the online, definitive answers. I want them to, if there is going to be some type of upgrade to the Switch in the not too distant future, I think they need to talk about that at least, because we already know we're going to see Scorpio. There's a possibility we might hear about new hardware from Sony. If you don't talk about something, then the Switch will look like it's standing still. And if what we are hearing about Sony is true, that could really be trouble. So if you do have anything, it could be just a better version of the dock where, you have the ports in better places, cleans up a few things, a few issues that were there, adds a few more ports, something like that. If you have something like that, talk about that. You need to let people know that whatever problems the Switch are having, we're taking care of that. You don't have to worry about it. We got the online situation sewn up. Don't worry. We got you. Give me some new first-party IP. Retro Studios must tell us what they're doing. If Retro Studios does not say anything about E3, they can go to where. Seriously, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. This is ridiculous. This is beyond egregious that we've had to wait this long to hear something from Retro Studios. If they can't tell us what they're working on at this point, they might as well just fold up shop and go out of business. Seriously. We need to hear about whatever if they're working on a new Metroid game, fine. I don't care if they're working on another stupid Donkey Kong game. If that's what you're working on, fine. Tell us that. Just tell us what you're working on, please. I don't care anymore. Just say something. Okay? I don't expect anything. Maybe, I'm not going to do predictions. I'm just going to say that, I want to see them give me more stuff, just more stuff. Give me more stuff. That's all I got to say.
K-Ball 20.
It's going to be good.
we still talking about Nintendo? We back to Nintendo now?
Yeah.
We made it back here. Okay. What I don't want them to do, um, and I may not be the best person to even comment about this because, again, I have not purchased a single Nintendo system since the NES days. But for someone who wants to be interested in Nintendo, I get tired of seeing the same rotating 4 or 5 icons every single Nintendo generation. It's always a Mario, it's always a Zelda, it's always a Metroid, it's always um, a Kirby, and then the Donkey Kong. I mean, that for someone who loves it and who've been playing it for 20, 30 years, it's awesome for them because they've loved those icons for years. But someone who wants to jump in and was like, can you give me something other than a platformer that I can enjoy? From the outside, it kind of feels like that. So what would love to see them do, like I said, this is from my point of view, is release something that does not purely cater to an old school Nintendo fan, which means something kind of out of the box, maybe something new, kind of trying some new things. I know they're trying things with the arms, but that's again motion game and not my cup of tea. I like to sit down with a pro controller and play. And so something on more of a mature side that can get people who like bro shooters or bro games. Something with some multiplayer aspect to it because the majority of games I do play is multiplayer. Like I said, this is a tailored audience, so this is what I would like to see from them. So I don't care what you want to see; you can have your own time. But what I want to see is kind of what I would love to see from them is not the same rotating list of IPs, but venturing out and giving something new with the new system and the portability, and hopefully something that put good use to their online, a new IP. So that's me. What I don't want them to do, I don't want them I don't want them to trip off their own feet. You know, I don't want them to go through and then just lay another layer of white paint over what they're going to give you. Which means is they go out there and they don't really say what they're really trying to do. They just be very vague with some of the things, especially with the online. I would hate for them to have an E3 and not discuss what the online you're going to be getting in the next couple of months. And so I would love them to share some of that up. And I would hate for them to just stumble themselves and not give you that. As far as other games in that aspect, it's an open fence for that. I don't have anything I don't want them to show, explain, and I definitely expect to see the Mario's has already been announced, and just what they're trying to do with that franchise. So I don't really have anything else to share with that for Nintendo.
Okay. Keep yours. What you want to see, man? What you don't want to see?
Watashi wa Nintendo desu ka? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me start with what I don't want to see. 3DS. I don't want to see an abundance of 3DS games. I don't care. I don't want to see them. If you're gonna show them 2 minutes, I can get 2 minutes. Can't even have 5 minutes. No 3DS. What I do want to see, Metroid.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
Oh. Did you hear what I said? No 3DS?
A little bit.
Okay. Well, I said I don't want to see 3DS. I don't want to see any of it. Maybe 2 minutes of 3DS. That's about it. What I do want to see is Metroid. Whether it's going to be 3D or 2D. I want to see Bayonetta 3. And I want to see a new IP in the form of an adventure RPG type of game. Something brand new built directly for the Switch. What else I want to see from Nintendo? Release dates for some of these games they've already announced. Oh, and what else I don't want to see? I don't want to see ARMS, or maybe Splatoon 2. I don't want to see ARMS on their digital direct that's coming out. We don't need to see no more of that. What else? And I just want to see something that's completely not from Nintendo. Kmart kind of touched on it. That's like not a traditional Nintendo type game, whether it be Nintendo made or not. I want to see something that's completely left field. Like, I can't believe this is on a Nintendo Switch or a Nintendo platform. So that's what I want to see.
Okay. Jedi Knight.
What I don't want to see is the contraption with that voice chat. I really don't. All right. I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't want to see a lot of Super Mario Brothers Odyssey or Super Mario Odyssey. I really hope that they don't make Super Mario Odyssey out to be what Zelda was last year for E3. You know, only because we know that for the most part they are great at making Super Mario games, but this is a very old franchise, and we know that they have that under control, right? We heard a lot about Nintendo really beginning to push their young developers to the forefront. So what I would really like to see is for them to show new games and something that may be more mature and characters that are like in living, breathing worlds and not like characters in the sense of being branded like a Mario or like with Splatoon. And it doesn't even have to be like a typical shooter game, but maybe something in a particular genre that can have more of a human element, like real life individuals, like a game of that type of mature content. Like Nintendo doesn't really have that. You know, I don't really put Metroid in that category. It's really sci-fi and out there, but I would love to see that from Nintendo. What I want to see from Nintendo is a game that implements the HD Rumble besides 1-2 Switch, right? Like they invested so much into these controllers that they could have allocated those funds elsewhere, maybe into a 1080p screen so they could probably do virtual reality in the future, or maybe that and hardware power to where they can actually do more powerful games overall. You know, if they're really going to go this avenue and push the HD Rumble, then they need to show why HD Rumble is necessary in gaming and why it's relevant, you know, and not just push it off to the side, because if that's the case, then there was really no need for it and it was just totally unnecessary. So I would like for them to do that. I would also like to see dates. I don't want to really see games that are not coming within this E3 and next E3. So I don't want to hear about a game that's coming 2 and 3 years down the road. I don't mind hearing about specific release dates or even just particular quarters of a year. But I would like to see games that are coming between this E3 and next E3, and it should not be all about Mario Odyssey. That is going to kill me.
Okay. As far as me, what I want to see from Nintendo is attitude. I want to see Nintendo that is bleeding and overflowing with confidence and attitude. Take names, taking prisoners, that type of what Reggie said. I'm here to take names and kick what he said. I want that Nintendo to show up, and I don't want them not to go out this E3 and not address online. I feel like you have skated on and got a lot of passes for something that should have been addressed back in January. That should have been addressed, and people should have understood what it was back then. So you've gotten away with basically 4 months of people not knowing anything, and as more games show up that's dominated by online on giving you online services, Nintendo needs to address that. So I want to see attitude that's like, we here to take names and own folks, and we need online address. Them two things. That's what I want to see and what I don't want them to do is leave out of E3 not addressing online. So predictions, and this could be just whatever you predict across all these platforms. Don't be super long because we got to get out of here. And I'm gonna start with K-Bomb 20. What is your prediction for both Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo? What you predict they would gonna show? Like, now I don't mean like what like something that out of left that you think gonna show up. A prediction.
All right, I'll go with Microsoft. My prediction for Microsoft is and this is throwing it out there. I can truly see them coming with it'll be hard. Let me not say that. I'm not sure prediction. I don't think that's gonna happen. But I do predict them showing making an announcement about the kind of connection with VR and the Scorpio, either HoloLens or VR. That's my prediction, that they're gonna couple those two together, and that's gonna be what they're gonna push to sell their Scorpio is either VR or HoloLens. That's my prediction for that. For Sony, my prediction for them, I'm gonna kind of throw it out there, is that I don't want them to do it, but they may end the conference on the talks of a new hardware. Don't know if that's going to be the Vita 3 or whatever it's called, or the next Sony. But I think when they kind of end the press conference and turn the lights off, it's going to be like a little promo to another hardware. That's my prediction, that they're going to do something like that. On the Nintendo side, as far as prediction, and I know this might be stealing someone else's stuff, but I know they've been hush on it, and they have talked about it. I mean, I talked about it, but there's been some talks about it. But my prediction is they show us something about that computing device, because I know we've kind of talked about it, and we've gone back around with it. But I think that'd be dope if they actually talked about that, and how you can squeeze even more when docked out of the system. Because I think that dock is just weird. That is kind of what it is, and hollow, and things that can definitely have another piece to it to add to it. So that's my predictions.
Okay. Jedi Knight.
Yeah, I'm with K-Bomb with that last one. I do predict that Nintendo shows something about regarding the computing device, supplemental computing device. I think that'd be a good idea. You already have the PS4 Pro out. You're going to have the Scorpio out later this year. Maybe Nintendo can show something that can come out the year after to kind of make them, relevant in that space in regards to some power. There may be some difficulty there with game developers having to develop for like the dock mode, undock mode, and the supplemental computing device mode. But maybe they can also have a situation like with what is the name of that game? Tomb Raider, when you had like these different options for the PS4 Pro, where you can either get better visuals at the sacrifice of frames, or you can have slightly better graphics but with higher frames. I mean, this is something that the PC's been doing for decades. So for Microsoft, I don't really. I predict that they show original games. Outside of the Scorpio, they really do need some original games. So that would be my prediction with them. And with Sony, I don't know. I don't think they're showing any type of Vita 2. I'm definitely with K-Bomb with that. I think that'll just be a fail. I do think that they're gonna have the PS4 Pro Slim, but I don't know. I don't have a prediction for them really. Usually my focus is just on Nintendo. I'm kind of up in the air with Microsoft and Sony in that regard.
Okay. Keith Norris.
Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, my son woke up. I got him in my arms. I'll start with Nintendo. My first prediction is they're gonna take too long on the 3DS. I guess that's more of a fear.
That should be a meme. That should be. You're taking too long with the 3DS.
Let's see. Microsoft. I hate to say it, Jedi, but I think they're gonna fail with.
Wait, say that again. You broke up.
Then I said I think they're gonna fail with the 4K 60.
Okay.
Maybe with third party, but definitely probably not with first party. And I really don't have a prediction with Sony. I guess it's more of a wish that they show something with new hardware. I like seeing new hardware, but I really don't have one for Sony. But that's it.
Okay. D2K.
I talked about this in depth in my latest blog, but my prediction is that all three companies will announce in some way, shape, or form some hardware at E3. I do believe that at the very least, starting with Sony, that they will at least announce a PSP Slim or PS4 Slim. Not a PS4 Slim, but like the gold. I don't know if you heard about this gold PS4 Slim that's been out there. Yeah, I think they'll show that off at E3. I don't know for certain, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that where there's smoke, there's fire with this whole PS Vita 2 / PSP 3 thing. You know, you don't file those patents for nothing. And it seems to be like there's too much that's been said about this for this not to be there's something about it. I explained why it could work and why it could fail. And why, if it does work, it would be a very bad situation for Nintendo. But I would predict that if they are working on it, then we will hear about it. Obviously, I predict that there will be a supplemental computing device that's going to be announced by Nintendo. Either it's going to be a different dock that you can put the Switch into, or something that plugs into the dock, which would be kind of cumbersome. So I think it will more or less be a different dock that actually has processing power built into it. And when you slip the Switch in there, it marries with the power of the Switch and basically creates a super console. Now, what we heard a couple of months ago was that this supplemental computing device dev kit was floating out there, which supposedly was using a GTX 1060 GPU, which was given about 3.5 teraflops of power. You marry that with the, I would say probably 750 gigaflops of the Switch, because it's not using the 32 floating point process like Xbox One, PlayStation 4, so it's not going to be the 1 teraflop. That should give it enough to be able to compete with PlayStation 4 Pro. So that's all they really need to do, if you really think about it. And I don't think it will be that big of a deal with developers because of PlayStation 4 Pro and because of Xbox Scorpio, now developers have been conditioned to be able to create that flexibility in their games to where they have to make it compatible with lower and higher hardware. So if that's the case, then I think the Nintendo will be fine and they'll increase their chances of getting third-party support in the future. I also think that Microsoft is going to announce some type of partnership with someone. They've been a little bit too smug and a little bit too confident despite all this. The sky is falling from all of us. And there has to be something to this. It can't just be their games or something else. They have to announce something that's really concrete that we don't know about, whether it's a partnership with a major third party or, you know, I don't know what it is, but they're going to announce something huge at E3 that's going to throw everybody for a loop. That's all I can really think of.
Okay, all right. So that leaves me. As far as Sony, I believe, even though I said I don't want to see this, I believe we will. I believe there will be some type of hint towards a new handheld device. It won't be shown, but it definitely will be a lot of alluding and placating to stay tuned for the future of the Vita. I believe we will hear stuff like this at the at their press conference. I believe it's going to be pretty much like last year. I don't think we're going to see anything new. I think we're going to see more of what we've already seen with dates. I think what's going to be the shock is probably a few partnerships here and there, maybe some game from out of the past that might get a new life on the PlayStation 4. Probably going to push the Pro a little bit more to offset the Scorpio. And I do believe one of my predictions is that they will start alluding to a new entry into the Vita brand handheld department. I really do. I don't want to see that, but I think that's what they're going to do. And the reason I think they're going to do it is because I think they see the writing on the wall with virtual with VR. I feel like while the device will stay on the marketplace, I feel like they see that that's not a device that they can mass market. It's too niche, and so that's what I believe. Microsoft, I believe what Microsoft is going to do is Microsoft is going to show a game from the ground up, no parity with other Xbox boxes for the Scorpio. I believe they're going to break away from what they've been preaching about, all their games to be playable across all devices. I believe they see an opportunity to gain an upper ground on PlayStation running on the Scorpio with nothing holding it back, taking full advantage of the hardware. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's gonna be something from Rare, old IP from Rare.
Still Thieves?
No, man. And possibly, just for the fun of it, Battletoads, some type of Battletoads game, because we've been talking about this for the last 3 E3s. They've been predicting the Battletoads to show up. I believe this be the E3 that it does, because last year Phil wore a shirt with Battletoads on it. I think that was last year or the year before. One of the years, somebody wore a shirt with Battletoads on it. I would say the game that's going to come is going to be not Banjo-Kazooie. It's going to be Conquer. What's that? The squirrel? What is that name?
Conquer.
Is it Conquer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe something like that is going to show up on R Perfect Dark, something like that. Running on Scorpio, no hindrances, no holdbacks. That's what I believe. That's with Nintendo, I believe you're gonna see some third-party games that many people think that they're not going to see, like the Call of Duty is going to show up there and some other titles. And I also feel like we will see something Metroid related. I don't know if we're going to see the supplemental computing device. I think I said it right. The only reason I say that because they need something up their sleeve for later. I think right now it'd be too early showing their hand with that. I think the Switch and the portability is fine for right now. Get the online part together, show a Metroid Prime running from the ground up for the Switch. I think will suffice for this moment with a game like Mario Odyssey and maybe a Call of Duty and some other third-party titles showing up on the Switch. And then when Beyond Good and Evil comes out, I think that's when they deploy the supplemental computing device and show where they can go even beyond that with the Switch. So those are my predictions. So, yeah, I do think we're going to see something from Sony that's going to be in direct competition with the Switch. We won't see it, but we will hear rhetoric pointing towards it. So that's almost like what Microsoft did with the Scorpio announcement. They showed some stuff. That's what I think they're going to do with the Vita. I went quiet on.
I agree.
Okay. K-Bond 20, Keith gone? Oh, I guess maybe his baby started crying or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jedi Knight?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
Good ideas.
All right. So well, let's prepare to be this. Let's get out of here with this because the game is about to come on in 30 minutes. I need to get myself prepared mentally. So let you guys sign out. I'm taking it that Keith dropped out due to daddy mode. So but go ahead, Jedi Knight, man. We probably won't be on next. We might be on next Sunday, depending on how things fall. I might try to do this next Sunday and talk about what Microsoft showed. But go ahead and sign out, man.
All right. As always, it's a pleasure. I'm glad that I was able to get on today, and everybody was on together. It's been a minute since I was able to speak to D2K and Keith. So it's always good when we got all the guys on for a good podcast.
Okay. K-Bomb 20.
He's muted.
You're muted, bro. You're muted right now.
Yeah, my bad, man. My bad.
Okay.
No, yeah, signing out. No, man. Yeah, man. It's good, man, to have everybody, man. We had opinions flying everywhere. So that was pretty good, man, to get everybody's point of view of it. Because I think we got a legit podcast, man. We got some good people with some good intelligence, man, that can formulate a sentence and put it together pretty well, and be able to put aside some of their biases that some may have, and just have good conversations, man. We'll make this podcast pretty legit. We have good conversations, man. We don't always agree, but we're still respectable with our disagreements. So, yeah, man, I enjoy myself.
Okay, D2K.
Yes, this was an enjoyable podcast. It was good conversations. Everybody was good to get up with Jedi. It's been a while. Haven't been on the podcast, so it's good to flex my chops a little bit. It was good conversation in the chat as well. Some good opinions and some good some real talk in the chat. Like everybody's been saying. We don't have to agree on everything, but at least listen to each other has to say, and we can agree to disagree, but still understand where people are coming from. And it's always good to have good conversation and good different points of view, because sometimes you might not think of it a certain way. Like, I think of it that way. That's an interesting point. So that's why it's always good to have a conversation. But it was a fun podcast, and I think that we kind of really laid it out of what really needs to be done from all the companies going forward.
Right.
It should be an exciting. This is going to be one of the most exciting E3s that we've seen in a long time. That's the reason why the picture that I have from my blog is a picture of Michael Buffer. It was Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo that said, "Let's get ready to rumble," because that's what's going to be. That's what's going to be like.
Where do you have that up at?
It's on my Google.
It's on your Google? Okay. Yeah. So I'll check that out. Because I was trying to figure out where you had to post of if folks wanted to read it or check it out, they can go over there. So it's on basically D2K's your Google page.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, man, I enjoyed this. Rushed home from eating with the family to get here. That's why I was late. But I do believe this is going to be a E3 that trends on the positive. A lot of good things are going to come out of this E3. I think it's going to be hard pressed for anyone to say that either of the press conferences and digital event were bad. I think all of them are going to have all their ducks and in order and all their bums ready to go. And I think we're going to have a whole lot to talk about after next week. So I think we'll have a good time. I'm contemplating whether I want to take off for any of this stuff. I hate getting those looks from my wife. So I might be at work.
She should be used to that by now, shouldn't she?
Man, my wife ain't never gonna get used to me taking off work to watch some video games on TV. Never. Never, bro. She allows me to do it though, but she ain't gonna look. She gonna be like, man, what is wrong with my husband? Anyway, I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I did that not last year, but the year before I took off, and I don't think I'm gonna do that this year though. But anyway, I might. I'm not for sure yet. But Yeah, I enjoyed the
Well, you
podcast.
shouldn't have to because Sony come on at night. Sony is Microsoft is on Sunday, and Nintendo is early in the morning.
Oh
So
man, but it's so much information that's released between the podcasts.
Yeah, I just like being at home in my boxes,
What?
chilling on my man cave, just at the AC on with my Kool-Aid and Mr. Frosty chilling, man. I like doing that. But I'll probably
It's
be
an
at
all
work.
day event.
Yeah, it's an all-day event for me. But anyway,
I'm taking off, man. Like I said, level. I'm gonna be off that Monday and that Tuesday, and I contemplating taking off Wednesday so I can watch all the press conference when they showing my Madden and everything. I thought about taking Wednesday. I'm
I'm
excited.
gonna go ahead because I got some vacation coming up here, so I'm gonna save it for all that. I don't want to mess all that up. So I got
I ain't
enough
getting no work
time,
done.
but still.
I'm going to work. I ain't getting no work done.
But anyway, but yeah, it was cool being on here with Jedi Knight, chopping it up on Sunday with you, bro, and having D2K back on. Been a minute since we all been on here together, even Keith in his absence. Look, I'm sounding like I'm at church, but with Keith not being here, I'm pretty sure Father Mo kicked him out. But man, I enjoyed this, man. Look forward to chopping it up with you guys. If not this Thursday, this following Sunday, at the E3's conference. I'm gonna see how things play out. We might just come on Sunday and skip Thursday and chill out. So with that being said, man, this was the Live and Level Gamers podcast, episode 103. It's getting hot in here. Old Nelly song. E3 is around the corner. So hey, we'll be back once all this stuff happens. Till then, deuces.